Hey y'all, I'm Fran, flight attendant, small business owner, and your coffee obsessed, thrift loving guide to airline adventures, travel stories, and all things small business life. I am so happy that you're here today because I am coming at y'all with a brand new market vlog. So, first things first, we're going to go ahead and take a sip of our coffee that has already been reheated twice already this morning. Y'all, it has been that kind of day. It is the day before a market, and if you know anything about market days, you know that the day before is always complete and total chaos. I am running around like a chicken with its head cut off because this is not a 1 day market, but a 2 day market. So let's go ahead and rewind here. I signed up for this market a couple of weeks ago because another small business friend of mine basically talked me into it out on a farm, and they are going to have all sorts of concessions. It's going to be like a lemonade stand. A friend of mine that's also a vendor is doing candied apples, and it's going to be like a whole big thing. And it's a 2 day market, which I have not done a 2 day market, I want to say, since last year. So I've had the week off from my normal flying job. It's been really nice to disconnect, and I'm I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little stressed because I don't ever really feel prepared for a market. I have been in sort of like a creative rut lately. I never really intended on my small business being a small business. Basically, always intended on my small business being a creative outlet, and I always want it to continue to be a creative outlet, so I don't ever want to force myself to make anything for the sake of making money, if that makes sense. Yes, it would be nice to make money and obviously, make money, right? Like make a profit. That's not my main why for why I have a small business. Just to make things that make me happy, not get too sucked in on what sells, not get too sucked in on what do I think people are going to want to buy, because at the end of the day, a lot of you probably have noticed that if you've gone to some of these craft markets or pop-up markets lately and you see a crochet artist, 9 times out of 10, a lot of these booths have very similar things, and that is something that I've struggled a lot with as a crochet artist, is trying to differentiate myself from other crocheters. When I started crocheting, I was never ever into the plushies. That was not my jam. I started solely as a crochet cup cozy maker, and to this day, that is still something that I have in my small business as a crochet artist, we are currently struggling with is the oversaturation of products out there for plushies and stuff like that. So I want to get back to my roots as a crocheter. I want people, when they hear Wanderlust Bee, I want them to remember me for something, specific. I want to stand out, and doing something that you won't find at every other crochet booth. So I know myself, and the more creative cuts that I get into, the more frustrated I'm going to become and the less passionate I'm going to be about this. And I don't ever want to get to that point with something that has meant so, so much to me. My target demographic are people in their 20s or people in their 30s, like me, people who like bright and cheery and bubbly things that make them happy or bring out their like quirky artistic side. Those are my type of people. So that is what I wanted to focus on for this market. I started off almost 10 years ago doing a lot of the cup cozies. I focused heavily on these for this market. So I have a lot of different ones that I haven't really done for a while, and I really, really missed doing them. I, as an avid coffee drinker, obviously, I am a sucker for a really, really cute sleeve. And I know that a lot of these aren't really like the style that people are using nowadays. Popular now are those like neoprene sleeves that everyone really seems to be using. But I know that I'm the only crocheter for day one of this festival. I'm not going to be the only one for day two, but I am the only one for day one. So that gives me a leg up already. Saturdays typically tend to be the popular or the busier days for a market. So I'm hoping that that's still going to be the case. Something else that I wanted to try that was a little different was with the koozies. I found a ton of koozies in my like overstock that I've had for a while that's either from like a previous season or like an older holiday or something. So I decided to do like mystery koozies. So I don't know what the deal is, but mystery anything has been really, really popular for markets lately. So I've been doing mystery bags, and you guys know that the blind date with a book is really, really popular. So I've been doing those for a while, and those are always such a huge hit. And just do a bunch of those. So I did that, and I have 2 bags of those, all different like holidays and seasons and stuff. And hopefully those do really well so I can clear out some overstock inventory. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to focus too much on plushies, and that is still the case. But I did end up crocheting just a few. I wanted to focus more on like the smaller plushies and stuff. So I made a couple of these like smaller ones because I did mention that it is going to be a kid heavy event. A lot of the times parents will give the kiddos an allowance. So, the items that are between like $8 and $10 tend to do really, really well. So if you have a good bit of these smaller priced items, those are always super easy. They don't take but, 20, 30 minutes to whip up, and the kiddos are happy, the parents are happy, everyone's happy. You don't have to take a bunch of time to go ahead and do. So I have a few of those chickens. I found a free pattern on Instagram I was able to do that in a keychain form. So again, I can keep these between $8 and $10. Yeah, so this was the original pattern, and I just modified it for the mallard. So I'm very excited with how those turned out. Those are new, or going to be new for this market for me. I haven't brought these out yet. You guys all know, if you've seen any of my videos, that I have a lot of these little mini chickens that are always super popular, the little mini Mabel pattern. And you guys have all seen the little mushy pops. Those are always super popular. So bigger versions of the plushies. And this was another free pattern. I only did one of these just to test it out. I think I was like half asleep when I was working on this one, so I only did the one, but I think it turned out super cute. And for a free pattern, like, I will try pretty much any free pattern, especially one that does not involve any sewing. There's an eagle. These always do super well, but I haven't really been making too many of the standard Mabel sizes, but I whipped one up. I haven't made like a regular Mabel in a while, so I just made one of those. I wanted to show you guys one other thing that I did work on for this market. And you can kind of see it back here. It's been hanging out since the start of this video, but I have been thrifting these denim jackets for a couple of months, and I have been crocheting these granny squares back here. Well, this is pretty much one giant granny square, but am obsessed. I am trying so hard not to go ahead and keep this one because I really love the way this one turned out. I did manage to come across a couple of denim jackets for myself that I've been on the hunt for. So I am still trying to figure out like what color scheme I want to go for my own personal denim jacket. But y'all, if this one does not sell, I think I may have to add this one back into my own personal collection because I just love how this one turned out. And then this one is not a denim jacket. It's more of like a chambray shirt, but it's more lightweight than the denim jacket. So that is pretty much it, y'all. Hey y'all, I finally had a chance to sit down and check in with you. I set up and everything about 2 hours ago. The market's been going on for about 2 hours. Hopefully, you can hear me and not so much the music. The market has finally started to pick up a little bit. It was really, really slow starting out, so I was getting quite nervous. I just made my booth fee back probably about a half hour ago, so I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling comfortable aside from the heat. This is one of the reasons why I do not do summer markets because it is so stinking hot. But I cannot complain. The weather's gorgeous. We had about a 60% chance of there being actual rain for today, and it doesn't look like it's going to be raining today. So I'm happy. The vibes are really good I'm not by any of my friends, which is kind of a bummer, but overall, it's been really beautiful. I'll try to see if I can get some of the market for you guys. We're not by any of the actual like festival attractions. I are by the food trucks, which is really cool. So that's mostly the traffic that we're getting is all of the food truck traffic. But we are on the farm, which is really, really cool. The venue is beautiful. I've only been here once before a few years ago, and I guess they do like farmers markets every weekend here. So far, so good. I did bring some yarn to get a head start on another market that I've got next month. It is so dang hot that I don't really have the energy to crochet right now, but we'll see. I picked up some food from one of the food trucks because I am hungry. I didn't have a chance to pick up anything this morning, so I already kind of bit into it. But we have a Philly cheesesteak truck, so I did pick up that, and I did already take a few bites. It is delicious. I really wanted some barbecue, but the line for that is insane, and they don't have their mobile ordering turned on because I'm pretty sure they are slammed with just the regular walk up orders. So, Philly cheesesteak it is, but that's really good. And yeah, I just wanted to check in with you guys and kind of let you know more or less how the market was doing. Check back in with you later. After Saturday's market, I made the decision not to attend day 2. Between the heat, a higher chance of rain on Sunday, and several additional crochet vendors joining, I felt it was the right call. Saturday's hours were 10 to 3 and Sundays would have been 12 to 6, but honestly, I was okay with how day 1 went, having made back my booth fee and then some, which is always a win. Instead of braving the weather for day 2, I decided to spend my Sunday dropping off leftover inventory at my local shop and getting a head start on prepping for upcoming events from the comfort of my own home. It felt like the best way to keep my momentum going while also avoiding the heat. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to hang out with me in this video. Let me know in the comments how you make the best of a slow market. Hope y'all have a great week and see y'all next time. Bye!